Hello and welcome to this whatever that I'm recording right now. I'm so sorry if the audio is not so clear for you guys because I'm using my laptop to record this. As you can see, the camera quality is so shitty, and the reason why I'm using my laptop camera is because I don't know why, I just kind of like the retro vibe that it gives. It gives off that 2005 vibe, so that's why I'm using my laptop instead of my phone to record this. And I'm not using any microphones, so the voice is not going to be so clear, and I cannot talk louder because right now it's 12:45 in the morning, and my entire family is sleeping, and I don't want to disturb them. So work with it, work with it. Anyways, if you guys recall, on the 24th of June, I asked you guys on my private Instagram account to ask me any questions. Pretend that I have a podcast. So this is why I'm going to answer most of your questions. Just pretend that this is a weird ass podcast that you happen to follow. And here are the few questions that you guys asked. It's not much. I think there's only like 5 or 6 questions, and I'm going to answer all of those questions. So without further ado, since you're here for the questions, let's just dive into it. I will reveal your name, don't worry. There are at least a million people that share the same name as you, so first question by Harris. How to get as many girlfriends as you? Okay, Harris, here's the thing, bro. Not many people are talented. When they are born, not everyone is born handsome. My fate, I was born handsome. You can ask my mom. My mom has been telling this story ever since the age of 5. Ever since I was at the age of 5. This is my classic bedtime story where every time she always tells me that when I was born, at least 5 nurses passed out because of how handsome I look. And everyone that came across my mom holding me asked my mom, what is the secret to having such a handsome looking baby? Because your baby looks so bloody handsome. And then just imagine that baby transactioning, going through kindergarten and then growing into a child. I mean, from child growing into a kid, becoming an adult, hitting puberty and all that stuff, growing beard, and now I just look so ridiculously, irresistibly handsome, and it's just a fate. Some say it's a gift, but I say it's a curse. You don't want this kind of curse. I'm too handsome. Sometimes I'm just there like, Mom, why am I so handsome? Why am I like this? My mom was like, ask God. God is the one that made you this handsome. Blame him. And I'm like, blame you, God. I'm too handsome. Thank you, but I still blame you. So, but on a serious note, okay, stop bullshitting, Setu. On a serious note, I don't have girlfriends, if you think about it. I have a lot of female friends. I have a lot of female best friends. And the reason behind that is because when I was studying from 4, from 5, like before from 4, from 5, from 1 until from 3, my class was like a good ratio between guys and girls, like 50-50. But when I went in from 4 up until from 5, there were only 3 guys, including myself, of 21 students in my class. The rest of them are all girls. So I kind of have no other choice to make friends with girls, and it's not like I was against it or anything. It just happened. I have a lot of female friends, and yeah, they all are as fun as hanging out with guy friends. It's just the same thing. They're just females. That's all. Um, and then just imagine them guys, but without dicks. Same shit. And then same thing happened when I go from 6. I met a lot of these people, which happen to be all of them are girls, and I'm the only guy in the group, which is like, I also don't know why, but these guys are like one of my few what the fuck. I have a lot of best friends, and these guys are like an addition to that best friends list. These guys are all my best friends. At this point, we're kind of like family already. We are that close. We are that fucking close. So I don't have girlfriends, bro. I have a lot of female friends, and I think it's normal that everyone has female friends, unless you don't, which you should, because it's fun. It's really fun. They give you a different perspective of viewpoint, which is very interesting that you can dive into. It kind of makes you question the whole gender stereotypes and all that bullshit. Uh, yeah, the rest all just the same. Now, I think that's. Did I answer the question? I don't even know. I'm just spitting shit out of my mouth. I have no idea if this is even entertaining for you guys. Second question by Fikri. Why? He asked me why. I also don't know. Third question. Pravina. Vikram. Oh, Vikram. It's been a month since I think it has been a month or at least 3 weeks that that movie came out, Vikram. At first, I was not really like I was rating that movie 7 out of 10 instead of 10 out of 10 because of the previous movie that I watched, which was KGF Chapter Two. And if you don't know, if you're not Indian, KGF is this one movie. It's just so well written. The way they direct the movie is just so good. The production is so good. The visual effects of the movie, everything about the movie, the music, the background score, everything about the movie is just top tier 10 out of 10. Even the hero that acted, that portrayed the character in the movie was not famous before KGF was released. So it's like all fresh faces and it's just so damn good. 10 out of 10. I rate that movie 10 out of 10. If you go and check in the top 3 movies in India, the first comes Bahubali, which is a very legendary movie, and the second comes KGF Chapter 2. So my expectations was very high after watching KGF Chapter 2. So whatever Indian movies that I watch, I kind of compare it to KGF Chapter 2, which is my fault. So I end up comparing Vikram to that, and I was like, nah, Vikram is like 7 out of 10. But when I go and watch back Vikram again, it's a solid 10 out of 10, to be honest. Because the director of this movie, Vikram, his name is Loki, and basically what he's doing is he's basically doing whatever that Marvel Cinematic Universe did. He's creating his own universe, Loki Cinematic Universe, where he created these two movies that is linked together. So in the future, he will make another movie and introduce the characters from these two movies into that movie. Kind of like what they did with Iron Man, Captain America, Thor in Avengers. Same thing. So that's what he's trying to do, and I kind of can't wait to see what else he has in stock because it's very impressive. And yeah, man, it's just next level shit. It's a level step up. Next question. Did I answer your question? I don't know. I suck at this. But I gotta start somewhere, right? It's always the first to everything. Third question or second question? I have no idea. I'm actually acting like as if I've done this for 100 years, but no, I can't. I just suck at this. I'm insecure. I'm very insecure. Third question by Josephine. If you see an insect in your room, what would you do? Murder? Run away? Truce? Hire a hitman? I will move country. I will move country. I will leave the house. I will walk at least 5 kilometers away from the house until my mom does something about it. In my house, even my dad will take the car and he will run off. My sister will run away. I will definitely run away. Usain Bolt? I will run faster than Usain Bolt. Okay? I will beat his record if I see any insect in my house. And by insect, I mean specifically cockroach. So the only person who is not afraid of cockroach in my house is my mom, and she is just this badass woman. She will go and take a broom. Sometimes she doesn't even have any equipment. She'll use her hand. She just boom, just like that. And sometimes the motherfucker won't die, and my mom will just slap 2 3 times again, let that guy die, suffer in pain. So yeah, my mom. So it's what I would do. I won't hire a hitman. I will just call my mom. Fourth question, I guess. You have a whole day out to yourself and 200 ringgit. How would you spend the day? Question by Josephine as well. Okay, it's a good question, but what I would do is I would probably save that money. You see, Josephine, we have 200 ringgit, you know. So why don't you, I don't know, take 5 ringgit out of that 200 ringgit, go to some mama shop and like buy some roti canai and teh tarik that covers in 5 ringgit, and then you don't even need to take lunch. You just take breakfast, you skip lunch, so it's brunch. You take teh tarik and roti canai, and then you watch some Netflix show on your phone. Just spend the time until it's dinner, and then you buy another roti canai and another teh tarik. So that's 10 ringgit. So how much am I saving here? 200 ringgit minus 10. I'm actually saving 190 ringgit, Josephine. 190 ringgit. You want me to do the calculation? 190 ringgit. How many days can I? One day 10 ringgit lah. 190. That's like 19 days. I can spend that money for 19 days. So think smart. I don't and just because I have 200 ringgit and I can spend the whole day doesn't mean I should. Savings are very important, kids. Does any of that make sense? No. Fifth question, I think, by Patricia. Thoughts on paying for dates, girl or the guy? Okay, it's a good question, but what I think is it should be how to say 50, 50, 100, 100. That doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. But hear me out. So basically, right, let's just say you are the guy and you ask a girl out on a date. Okay? So both of you guys go to the date. How about the guy spend the money paying for the, let's just say you went out for dinner, okay? So the guy pays for the dinner, and then you guys going to go and watch the movie. The guy buy the movie tickets and the girl buy the popcorn, or vice versa. And then after watching the movie finish, you're going back home, you want to buy something else, or you want to book Grab. So you just kind of balance off, like, or even better, how about when the guy initiates a date with you, he takes you out on a date, and the date went so well that you can just tell the guy that, oh, you know what? Okay, you pay for today's date, and I will pay for the next date. So in that sense, you're kind of extending the date without even mentioning that you want to see him again. You know? So you see where I'm going with this. So it's like the guy pays for today's date, and then you as a girl, you tell him, okay, I'll pay you for the next date. So subconsciously, you guys are going to have a second date, and then the second date she pays, and then he was like, I will get you back on the third date, and then you subconsciously move to the third date, and back and forth. It's a back and forth thing. 50, 50, 100, 100 is what I'm trying to say. Or if you don't want to do that, you can always don't split. Okay, don't do the 50-50. Don't be that one boomer auntie that takes out the phone calculator and just type that, okay, 100 ringgit for today's dinner. How many people? 3. 100 divided by 3. You pay this much, you pay this much, we pay this. Don't do that bullshit. How about instead you just kind of like have this mutual respect of understanding with each other, have a clear conversation with each other, so that you guys are clear to where you stand. Okay, the guy pays for the dinner, and then you as a girl, you pay the popcorn, and then the guy or the girl buys the movie ticket, and the guy is responsible for transportation. Like, end of the day, you guys are both sharing. You guys are not exactly splitting. So win-win situation maybe. I think, please bear in mind that all of this is coming from a guy who is single for 20 years, for all his life actually. So yeah, um, take my advice with a grain of salt. Excuse me. Good. Moving on. Next question. Review Barbie movies by Ranita. Okay, well, before this, I wasn't exactly a fan of Barbies, because when I was young, right, when I was at the age of, I don't know, I started watching Cartoon Networks at the age of 6, 7 years old, I think. So during that time, I was a huge fan of Jimmy Neutron and Ben 10. So I usually watch only those shows, Jimmy Neutron, Ben 10, and I usually don't watch Barbie. And it doesn't mean I don't watch girly cartoons. I do watch girly cartoons. For example, Totally Spies, um, Lilo and Stitch. That's not girly, but still. Um, what other Powerpuff Girls? I watch that as well. But Barbie is not something that I watch because it's too sparkly. It's too a lot of pink colors, a lot of sparkles, a lot of eyelashes, and I wasn't a huge fan of that. And I was particularly paranoid by all the life size, no, life version of Barbie dolls that my cousin sister, she used to bring that to the house, and I was so paranoid by it. I'm like, what the fuck is this thing? The eyes can move. It ask you to feed food to that baby, and it was so this is one of the creepiest thing that I've seen, and it didn't do well for me. But that was when I was young. I wasn't a fan of Barbie. Nothing against the show or anything. I just don't like it. It's not my cup of tea. But now, I've heard that Margot Robbie and the other guy, what's his name? I forgot his name. Dang it, I forgot his name. But Margot Robbie and her co-host or some co-actor or something, they are doing this movie Barbie, which is releasing either in the year of 2022 this year or next year. I'm not sure when is it releasing, but I am actually very very hyped for that movie. I want to see what they do with the character Barbie and how the story goes and what is her role with this Ken guy, and basically how they take this movie, and yeah, the whole gist. I want to know how the story goes and how they take the movie, how they approach making this movie. I am really really invested, and I want to know how they take it, because I've seen a few photo stills that have been taken from the studio, that has been surfacing around Twitter, and it's very promising and impressive as well. I really like how they portray Barbie and Ken. It was very nice to see, and I am looking forward to watch Barbie. I want to know how they take it. So review Barbie movie. You may have to wait because the movie is not out yet. I have no idea what bullshit I said, and I feel like I want to take back whatever that I said just now. But since I'm already recording, let's just go with it. Next question. Who's this guy? Shamil. Why is kenapa? Why is kenapa itu that's why. Sebab ini air botol. Lepas tu aku pun jam. Otak aku hilang. And then saya duduk. Lepas tu saya berdiri tapi duduk balik. Kenapa? Sebab gravity. Lepas itu sahaja daripada saya. Sekian, terima kasih. Next question. Last question, actually. I kind of speed run the entire question, so it's not that long. It's not even qualified as a podcast. It's just like a short YouTube video. Last question from Liz. Sabar jap, aku fikir. That is all for today. Thank you for joining and watching this stupid ass video that I just did. I don't even know if whatever I said is helpful or entertaining whatsoever. I don't think it is. If it is anything, it's very, very cringy. And I am trying so hard. I am trying so hard. I want to punch myself in the face and just fucking shove my head inside of water and just wait until the bubble stops coming out. Anyways, that's all from me. Thank you. Bye bye. See you guys later, and I'll see you guys next time. None of that make any sense. Ciao.